The Korean entertainment industry has taken over the world, from BTS dominating music charts to global hits like Squid Game. And when it comes to acting, Kim Soo Hyun has been one of the biggest names, one of the highest paid, most in-demand stars in Korea. But recently, everything changed. After being at the top for so long, it all seems to be falling apart. So what exactly happened? Let's get into it.
The craziest scandal in South Korea is happening right now, and this is the full breakdown. We all know actress Kim Se-ron. She passed away February 16th, literally less than a month ago. She's a very famous child actress, and she was 24 years old. She was in a drunk driving incident in 2021 that really kind of plummeted her reputation, but she was on the way to, getting back up. She got a lot of hate from the netizens and people around her for the drunk driving, and they were being very brutal to her, like the online presence. So we thought, and that apparently wasn't the full story. Now, 가로세 연구소 is a Korean YouTube channel, but they're known to be like those gossip channels. Celebrity gossips, exposing public figures, so it's not really like a positive channel. Some of their information were known to be correct, like a little, and a lot of it was also known to be defamation, just not correct at all. So take it with a grain of salt, but it's a huge YouTube channel, and actually a lot of like celebrities who want to expose things, their family or friends reach out to these gossip YouTube channels, so they expose things. So 가로세 연구소, the main host, this is the guy, and I believe he was also a former lawyer. So he alleges that the family of Kim Se-ron gave him this information, and there's even a call log, like he recorded the conversation. And allegedly, the family are claiming that Kim Se-ron met Kim Soo-hyun. This guy is a top A-list actor in South Korea. They've been dating since she was 15 years old, when she was a minor. I don't know if that part is true, or maybe like the family thought that they literally physically met when she was 15, not like dated, but like allegedly that is what they're claiming. They have a 13-year age gap, by the way. But we do know that they dated at one point. Now, was she an adult when they dated or not? That's the question that is like up in the air. Because there's photos, and before Kim Se-ron passed away, she also uploaded photos of them together and deleted it quickly. That also went viral. And the interesting part is, Kim Se-ron, right before she passed away, she was under an actor agency that was owned or started by Kim Soo-hyun and his uncle. Back when she had the drunk driving incident, she hit an electrical box, which made a couple businesses go out of business for a couple days. She owed these businesses, which was multiple businesses that was affected, a lot of money, and she didn't have that money back then. The story goes that she asked her company, which they're in the same company, for help, financial help. Hey, can you pay for this on behalf of me, and I'll pay you guys back, because it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the company did lend her the money so that she can pay back the other business owners, and I guess her lawsuits and things like that. Now, technically, Kim Soo-hyun is part of the company and he owns the company, so apparently he lent her a lot of the money as well. But there was no time frame of when she had to pay him back. But one day, she says that she got a legal letter from the agency that they were going to sue her for about $600,000 amount of money that they have lent her, and she needs to pay them back. And Kim Se-ron was shocked, because how can one pay 7억, or about $600,000, when she's not working because she wasn't getting any deals of movies and things like that because of that drunk driving incident? Allegedly, this is a text that Kim Se-ron sent to Kim Soo-hyun. I don't think they were together at this point. And it says, "I received a legal letter that you guys will be suing me. You told me that you will give me enough time to pay back. I was doing my best so that I can get some projects to come back and pay the money back. But if you're asking me for the 7억, or $600,000 right away, not that I won't pay back, I physically can't. Do we really have to go to the legal way? Please help me. Please give me some time," it says. And allegedly, like everyone in the company and actors and even Kim Soo-hyun himself cut her off and just ignored her when she asked to borrow money. And allegedly, this is one of the reasons why Kim Se-ron posted the photo of her and Kim Soo-hyun on her IG stories and deleted it because she was angry at him, or trying to get his attention or something like that. And is it a coincidence that Kim Se-ron passed away on Kim Soo-hyun's birthday, February 16th of this year? So look, Again, take it with a grain of salt. Kim Soo Hyun's side are saying that they're going to sue 가로세 연구소 for defamation and false news. And he is saying, well, I have the proof that all this information was from Kim Se-ron's family. Back to back from the debts, the heavy amount of penalty, and the people that she once trusted and once loved was suing her for $600,000 and all her actor friends ignoring her. And the netizens being also harsh on her. Could all of this, if it was true, lead her to her passing? We have some more shocking updates on Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Se-ron's case. This time, Kim's family is stepping up with some hard proof receipts. So Karo said the YouTuber who exposed this whole thing released the call-outs, the voice recordings with Kim Se-ron's aunt. So the family are claiming that indeed it is true that Kim Se-ron and Kim Soo Hyun had a relationship for 6 years when she was 15 till 21. When Kim Se-ron was 15, a minor, he was 28. What? And allegedly, this is the proof that Kim's family are presenting. So this is a letter written by Kim Soo Hyun to Kim Se-ron when he was in the military. It is written in 2018. And the letter is kind of like between two lovers. He says that he misses her. I mean, in 2018, technically Kim Se-ron was 18. Here's another letter written by Kim Soo Hyun to Kim Se-ron in 2019 where he says, I love you. And they called each other nicknames. And Kim Soo Hyun called Kim Se-ron 세로 네로. And the nickname she called him was like an alias nickname called YouTuber Kimpari. I mean, this is her in 2018, which makes her 18 years old, technically in Korean age 19. And the family alleges that this photo was taken when she was still a minor. Family alleges that these photos were Kim Soo Hyun sending to Kim Se-ron while he was in the military, and they're like, these are unreleased photos. You will never find them on the internet until they released it, which is proof that these were personal photos that he was sending to her. Now, the host obviously asked the aunts, like, if she was a minor, where were the parents? Like, were they okay with this? And the aunt says that, of course, like the family, including her, didn't know it. No middle schooler, she was in middle school at 15, comes out and says, hey, like, I'm dating an adult. They only found out later on when it was a little suspicious that he was sending her personal photos, like a full-grown adult in his late 20s to 30. Now, she used to be in YG Entertainment Actor Agency until she joined Golden Medalist, which again is the actor agency owned and started by Kim Soo Hyun. And the family claims that she joined that agency because it was started by her lover. And the next year in 2022 is when she got into that DUI incident. The family also pointed out a correction saying that the 7억 or the $600,000 was not to pay back the DUI victims. It was actually the penalties for the Netflix drama that she was filming at the time. Usually when you get into these criminal scandals and things like that, you're cut from the drama or they have to like cut you out. So I guess the drama, Netflix asks Golden Medalist, her agency, to pay back penalties. This legal letter was sent in 2022 after her DUI incident, and it states that she must pay back $600,000 in 1 year, which is kind of impossible for one person to try and pay back over $500,000 in 1 year. Aunt says that still, despite everything, although she was so shocked of getting that legal letter, she decided to go and work multiple jobs to try and pay everything back. And that was when Kim Se-ron sent Kim Soo Hyun that text message saying, please save my life. Like, I can't pay this money back. Because technically Kim Soo Hyun owns part of the company since he started it. And allegedly, after he started to ignore her and feeling betrayed by your lover of 6 years that you met since you were 15 years old, that's when she decided to upload that photo on Instagram stories of them together, causing a relationship rumor. Fast forward to February 16th, 2025 of this year. On his birthday, she decided to end her life. Was that a pure coincidence, or did she feel so betrayed by her ex-lover that this is what happened? This is all alleged, but if this is true, even in 2018 when she was 18 years old, to have a man 13 years older than you send these love letters and have a relationship, that's no.
When you thought that Korean man was an oppa, but he's actually not an oppa. If you haven't heard by now, a famous child Korean actress named Kim Se-ron unfortunately took her own life February of this year, due to several reasons, one being that the online netizens tore her apart after she got a DUI, and another reason being she had so much debt from paying for said DUI charges. Now new information has surfaced regarding Kim Se-ron and Kim Soo Hyun. According to a right-wing YouTube channel, Kim Se-ron's family reached out to them to expose the truth of what's going on. First allegation Kim Se-ron's family is making against Kim Soo Hyun is that he's been grooming her. She was only 15 years old when he was 27 at the time when they first allegedly started dating. They were dating for 6 years. Eventually, they broke up in 2022. And around that time was also when she got the DUI. Now you see, Kim Se-ron was in Kim Soo Hyun's agency, so when the DUI happened, the agency was very kind enough to offer to pay for the damages on her behalf. She gratefully accepted the offer to pay for the damages. The amount borrowed in US dollars is $500,000. And after 2 years, the agency asked her to pay back said amount. Unfortunately, she was still struggling to land gigs because she was still facing a lot of criticism online from the netizens due to her DUI. Since she can't pay it back, she directly texted Kim Soo Hyun begging him for more time. And this is a screenshot of the text. This is the translation that I made. You could pause it right here to read the translation, but essentially, she was begging him to give her more time like he promised. Her plea gets ghosted. She doesn't hear back from Kim Soo Hyun nor the agency. So in her desperate attempt, she posts pictures of when they were together on her social media platform, just to get some kind of reaction, just to get a conversation going on regarding the money. Sadly, this backfires. Agency denies all claims, paints her in negative light, and the media just eats it up. In an attempt to express her frustration, any kind of desperate attempt to get her truth out, Kim Se-ron unfortunately takes her own life on February 16, which is also Kim Soo Hyun's birthday. Coincidence? I'm not sure.
So Kim Soo Hyun has broken his silence and he held a press conference where he did not take any questions and was crying the entire time. Now, me personally, I took everything that he said with a grain of salt because he's an actor. Like, those crocodile tears meant nothing to me. And the fact that I saw that exact same face and it's okay to not be okay.
Let me play the English translation from the press conference.
저는 고인이 미성년자이던 시절 교제를 하지 않았습니다. 그리고 고인이 저의 외면으로 인해 또 저희 소속사가 고인의 채무를 압박했기 때문에 비극적인 선택을 했다는 것 또한 사실이 아닙니다. 제가 잘못한 일은 얼마든지 인정하겠습니다. 책임져야 할 일이 있다면 책임지는 게 당연하다고 생각합니다. 하지만 하지 않은 일을 했다고 할 수는 없습니다.
김수현 배우와 소속사 골드메달리스트는 사실관계를 명확히 밝히고자 관계자들에 대한 형사고소와 민사소송 제기를 결심하셨습니다.
I hate to sound insensitive, but I swear he looked exactly like that when he was acting in Queen of Tears. Now, the main thing that was talked about during the press conference is that he said that he did not date Kim Se-ron when she was underage. But then my thing is, even if you did not officially date her, I think she was still groomed. Like, just because y'all officially started dating 5 years ago does not mean that y'all didn't have some type of relationship when she was underage. Now, he did apologize for denying the relationship back in the Queen of Tears era when that picture of the two of them came out, but he said it was because he was afraid of the backlash he would receive if he confirmed it. Now, what doesn't sit right with me is the fact that Kim Soo Hyun's lawyer announced the fact that they're submitting a $12 billion lawsuit to Kim Se-ron's family. Like, money is literally how we got here in the first place. Like, are y'all trying to make the rest of her family commit too? Like, I understand that all this coming out has severely damaged his reputation, but that's his fault. Like, he shouldn't have been messing with a 15-year-old. Like, instead of suing the shit out of her family, why don't we take accountability and apologize for our actions so that Kim Se-ron can rest in peace and her family can move on?
Y'all, Getty's Images did Kim Soo Hyun so Like, damn, I didn't know Queen of Two Season 2 spoilers were coming out. I don't believe for 1 second of this man's apology at that press conference or whatever the went to, because when this all first came out, he denied the allegations so hard. He didn't even bother to show up to her funeral, and now you're telling me all of a sudden he wants to apologize while referring to himself as Star Kim Soo Hyun. Who the fuck takes a water break? I read one of the comments on these videos that said like, oh, you just know he went into his car after and was like, ah, Shiba. This is literally exactly how I imagined him to do it.
Oh, Shiba.
He's so full of shit, bro. I don't believe it. Like, those tears, that's exactly how he cries in every single drama. Don't play with me now. No, because this is literally me whenever I'm at a social function and my friends try to make me take another shot when I'm already on the verge of blacking out. Like, man, get the f out of here, bro. Talking about some yeah, whatever, bro.
You know, to be a South Korea's top earning male actor or whatever, Kim Soo Hyun, that had to be like your worst performance yet. Worst performance ever. You can save all that crying for the sale. Don't nobody care about those crocodile tears, boo. Nobody cares. I don't understand how you're having a press conference in the first place and you're not allowing questions. It's because you don't want to answer to the messed up things you did to Kim Se-ron. You don't want to answer to the fact that you got the nerve to sit up here and sue her family for 12 billion Korean won, mind you. You're suing her family. They just lost their daughter, their sister, their cousin, their loved one. And you were the main source of making her life a living hell while she was here on earth, yet you got the nerve to sue. And you're not crying because you feel bad about what you've done. You're not crying because you're remorseful. You're not crying because you wish things were different or whatever. And even if you were, who cares? Because if you're a good person, you don't have to try to prove you're a good person. You wouldn't have done this stuff anyway. But you're not crying because of none of that. You're crying and sobbing because you're losing things. You're crying and sobbing because this is making life hard for you. This is inconveniencing you. She is gone. She's not coming back. And it's really at the hands of you and a billion other people who mistreated her while she was here. And now you're up here trying to paint this picture of, oh, we had a loving relationship. We were each other's first love and this and that and this. You are a predator. You groomed her. You threatened her. You manipulated her. And now she's not here. And you have the nerve to sue her family? Men really have the audacity. Prison! Now!
So we might have seen Kim Soo Hyun make a very big mistake, and it's not the press conference itself, which I don't think went entirely well either. It's what he did, or rather what he tried to get people to ignore during the press conference. So in addition to confirming his denial of all accusations, he did present some semblance of evidence by bringing up forensic analysis of the Kakao chat history between Kim Soo Hyun and Kim Se-ron in 2016 and 2018, which were initially brought up by Ka Se-hyun and Kim Se-ron's family. This analysis was carried out through an external firm that specializes in chat history analysis for the law. The results of the analysis found that the person texting in 2016 and 2018, as well as 2025, which I'm assuming is the control data, are not the same people, which can contribute to proving that he did not communicate with Kim Se-ron in 2016 when she was 15. This is the part that he highlighted and talked about during the press conference. But here's the thing, he left out mentioning the part of the report on the screen that has additional information. So the red rectangles are the parts that he mentioned in the press conference. And then there are these two blue rectangles that he left out. The first, which mentions two caveats. That one, there are limitations to the interpretation of the data due to the small sample size. And two, the results may vary if analyzed with a larger data set. And then there's this. It is highly likely that the same individual authored both the 2018 and 2025 texts, meaning this report might be putting more credibility behind his text with Kim Se-ron in 2018, which Kim Soo Hyun's side denied as made up by the family. Let me sum this up. His attempt to have the data provided by Ka Se-hyun disproven might have actually put more proof behind that it was him texting Kim Se-ron specifically in the year 2018. This is very important because Kim Soo Hyun's side's argument is that they only started dating when she became 19 in the summer of 2019. He could have still mentioned this and said that, yeah, we started dating when she was 17, which I don't know how much better it is. But Kim Soo Hyun evidently thought this is still bad and cherry-picked from the report. Now, is it possible that the same kind of manipulation is going on beyond Ka Se-hyun? Definitely. But the difference here is that we've seen this live in public. I think they thought no one would pay attention, that on TV they'd center his face and this would get glossed over. I think they thought they could get away with this because I refuse to believe that people with such money and influence could be so careless about the details. So yeah, overall, I think this press conference was a disaster.
Not that anybody asked for my opinions or my thoughts on this whole Kim Soo Hyun situation, but he just did his press conference, right? And it's like, I'm going to be honest with you, this was a terrible idea for you to do this press conference. Because like, if anything, like this press conference made it worse. This press conference did not put you in a better light. It did not whatsoever. And parts of his statement kind of rubbed me the wrong way, like when I was listening and hearing it. And I just felt like it was too PR-ish. And I'm not saying that it can't be like PR-ish, because that's the whole point of having a press conference, is like having PR, right? But I don't know. I just and one part of his statement that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was when he was like, well, if you have all of this evidence that you claim you do, why don't you just go to the authorities and have them start an investigation? And it's like, come on, bro. You know that like the Korean justice system, the Korean legal system, actually Korean society in general is very patriarchal. Like it benefits men. They don't really do to men. We've seen it time and time again with other Korean male celebrities, Korean idols, that there is no justice. You could do the cruelest thing on the planet. You could do the most heinous ever. And and the Korean legal system, the Korean justice system does not give it. We've seen that time and time again. So it's like, why say that? Because you know that obviously this is because he got caught up. Okay, he got caught up in a bunch of lies, and now he's got to come out because his career is ruined. It's done. It's over. But I don't think that this was a good idea for him to do, because this made it 10 times worse. And now he's getting ripped apart by netizens online. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's genuine. But that's just my opinion, though. You don't have to agree with it, but that's just my thoughts and my opinion.
That vile creature of a man, Kim Soo Hyun, came into that press conference room with a 3-piece, probably suede suit, right? He probably had a fitting for it. Waterproof makeup on, full face. I'm talking about no eyebrow was out of place or nothing. And his hair was parted to the middle and swooped to the side. That only means one thing, that this man does not have any remorse and only cares about himself and his image. I am talking about this man gave Gal Gadot level crocodile tear performance. It wasn't even worth an Oscar or an Emmy at this point. Not once has he shown remorse for the deceased Kim Se-ron's family. He only keeps using her name to say, oh, I was her first love, we did it as an adult, while we have the proof that they've known each other since she was a child and dated as she was a child, and he does not want to admit that. This man is so useless that apparently, this is alleged, his whole script was just made from AI. And the worst thing is, he kept referring himself as the star Kim Soo Hyun during his entire press conference. And we were made to believe that this is Korea's top earning actor, male actor. This made me realize that all, if not most of his performances were leveraged because the cast was able to boost them up. No questions were taken from the press. As soon as somebody said, can you tell us when y'all met? He got up and left. He is suing Kim Se-ron's family for 12 billion Korean won. Because he knows this is a battle he's not going to fight. And if you still support that man, I'm afraid that you should not be around children. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of impressed by Kim Soo Hyun. Now, before you guys go for my head with pitchforks and knives, I wanted to clarify that. Like, when I say that I'm impressed, I don't mean it in a good way, alright? Like, he appeared in all of these famous key dramas like Queen of Tears, It's Okay to Not Be Okay, Dream High, My Love from the Start, etc., etc. And he had to pretend to be in love with a woman of his age or like older or like around his age, when all this time in reality he's been in love with younger women, like teenage girls. And if you think about it, he's one of the actors that makes the most money out there, and we've been feeding into his wealth while he was profiting off of young teenage girls, of Kim Se-ron. If anything, I admire him for living life so shamelessly. Like, even for me, I'm already embarrassed to walk into a coffee shop and tell the barista that they drink and tell them to do the drink again. He's able to scam a minor that he has been grooming all this time and not care about it and just take a picture of what his fans have been gifting him on the day that she passed. That's actually really crazy.
Guys, if there was one thing I would never want to do in this life, it's trigger CNEDs, because the memes that are on Reddit, they're actually making me laugh so hard. Like, this one person came out with a whole eye makeup tutorial on how to achieve the Kim Soo Hyun press conference look. That's her eye makeup photoshopped onto Kim Soo Hyun's face, and it literally, like, it matches exactly. There's even the before and after and, like, the how-tos in the caption. Some users are like blowing up the photos and like seeing where his makeup wiped off on his face. They're also analyzing how he literally has fake eyelashes, mascara, eyeliner, etc. This one has to be the craziest one in my opinion, but they're like analyzing why he has a blue tongue for some reason. I don't know if the translation's off, but basically they're analyzing why the color of his tongue is like that color. I mean, I can't really read Chinese that well, but that's the translation that's going on in the photo. And then in the caption, there's like a whole, I mean, I translated this whole thing, but like there's a whole thing about like what causes white tongue and like how to prevent it. I don't know, the creativity of CNEDs. That's why I love going on Redbook to see all the memes.
It never fails to surprise me the amount of victim blaming and mental gymnastics some of y'all will do to protect your fave because, oh no, my oppa could never do this. You guys don't know him in real life. Y'all don't know these people. Because I posted a video talking about this on my other social media and people were commenting saying that the blame should be on her family for knowing about the relationship. How is the blame not on the 27-year-old that was dating a 15-year-old? Explain to me how that makes sense. Like, she was in his company, a highly influential actor, rich, that could have a positive effect on her career. He knew what he was doing. What do you think her family was supposed to do? Go to him and be like, hey, can you like not date her? He has all the power, he has all the cards, and if she was really like in love with him, she would have believed anything he said. Okay? Because that's what happens in these relationships when there's a huge age gap, when the relationship shouldn't have happened in the first place. So if you really think the family should have gone to the press in the first place and just revealed that they were dating, she would have lost her career. She posted one selfie with him and people tore her to shreds. Y'all will choose anything except blame the person that deserves the blame. Because I understand being like, okay, I'm gonna wait until all the facts are out. But some of y'all don't even want to believe screenshots that have probably gone under digital forensics. Because you don't want to believe it. So saying, I'm gonna wait until all the facts are out, I don't believe you. Because this could go to court. It's her family's word against his. And it's screenshots that will probably prove innocence or guilt. And y'all will never accept it. Y'all will say, no, the timeline doesn't match up. No, it's just weird. It's just odd. Why would the family say this now? There's no winning with you guys. Because we could literally have footage of it. Example, Hara from Kara being thrown around in an elevator. And y'all will still blame the victim. So, y'all really need to get a life. Honestly.
Over 50,000 Koreans have signed the Kim Soo Hyun Prevention Act, so now this is expected to be discussed at the National Assembly. The purpose of this act is to increase age and strengthen punishment for minor agenda R-word. In Korea, you're considered an adult when you're 19 years old, but the legal age of consent is 16 years old. Basically, the age limit of the agenda R-word crime only protects minors from ages 13 to 16. This Kim Soo Hyun Prevention Act is to raise this number from 13 to 19 years old. The current sentencing of minors agenda R-word is 2 or more years of imprisonment, but this act is pushing for a longer sentencing of 5 or more years of imprisonment. Kim Soo Hyun has denied all allegations of dating Kim Se-ron while she was a minor. He's currently preparing a lawsuit against Kim Se-ron's family, the aunt, and 가로세로 연구소 for 12 billion Korean won. But because this act has over 50,000 signatures, it will still be discussed at the National Assembly.
There's been so much information coming out, and honestly, a lot of it looks really incriminating. At this point, it's hard to imagine him bouncing back or having the kind of career he once had.